My name is Mary Mulvey, and I'm going to give a little talk on a churn and its uses. Well, it's used for making butter, and then when you make the butter, you'll have buttermilk, so you'll get two uses really out of it, you know. First of all, you milk the cow and you bring in the milk and you strain the milk and you take whatever you want for the house out of it, and then you put the rest in a big basin or an urn or something, and you let it settle. And when the cream comes to the top of the milk, you skim it off it and you put it into another basin. And then every evening or morning, you keep skimming it, and you keep saving up the cream, and then when you have enough, after about 7 days, you put it into the churn and you leave it for about 2 hours to settle, and then you start to churn. You keep turning it like this, you know. And, as I say, some places now it takes an awful lot longer than others, you know, and you'd be weary turning the handle, and then the next person would take their turn. That was when we came in from school. When you see the turn, you knew that you were going to be have to get your turn, you know. If we were churning at home and somebody came into the house, not a member of the family, just a friend or that, well, they'd be expected to take a turn and do a few turns at the handle, and it's just something that was done in every house. My mother would look into it and she'd say, oh, it's in pinheads now. It'd look like cottage cheese before it'd really form into butter. It'd be all kind of floating around in it, the little bits of pinheads that she'd call it. Then, as I say, it could take a few hours before you'd have your butter, you know. And when the butter is churned and you take it out after it's salt, and that you get those butter spades and you put a certain amount of butter on it and you pat it and keep shaping it in and that until you have it like the shape of a pound of butter. Now, those little spades now might be less than a pound of butter. Some churns have a cork in them, and you pull out the cork, and when you take out the cork, before you take out the cork, you put a bucket under it, and you catch all the buttermilk, and then that buttermilk then is used for making bread, or you can make pancakes, do a lot of things with buttermilk. You can even drink it, and if it's a few days old, it's even nicer. You see, if you had a cow and or two, you'd only be using the milk for yourself. But then, you see, you might as well churn it. You know, people long ago were real self-sufficient and they done everything themselves. But then, certain times of the year when the cow it'd go dry, you'd get milk off local farmers, you know. You couldn't afford, butter was like that too, was probably too expensive to be buying. And then when you had the buttermilk, then you were able to make your bread. And then when you'd have the milk, surplus milk, you could make rice or sag or tapioca, all them things, and bread pudding. And you're a full week at it, because when you'd milk in the morning and milk in the evening, then you have to let the milk settle then for maybe about 12 hours before you can take the cream off it. There's a lot of work attached to it for, I suppose, what you get out of it. But then when a cow would calve, we used to be delighted, because there'd be a lot of milk, and Mammy would make these pancakes, and they were called beast of pancakes, you know, when you think of them. Everybody's butter definitely didn't taste the same, you know. Some people were able to make churn butter and even sell it, you know, but now we never. We wouldn't have anything like that, you know. We just had enough for ourselves. At that time, there was no such thing as spreadable butter. The only thing, the first thing to come out in the line of a spreadable butter was a blue band margarine thing. And if you were short, you'd use it, you know. Some people think that when they're eating a pound of butter, they never think of where it comes from. But then if they were eating churn butter and they knew it came from a cow, they mightn't eat it, you know. I could tell many a story where I used to be milking, and there was 8 of us, and there was whichever one would be milking, whichever one of us would be doing the milking, they'd stand, there were 7 of them, would stand in a line, and we'd get the cow. We'd squirt the milk to see who'd catch it in their mouth, you know, and it wouldn't be sterilised or nothing, you know.